Welcome, everyone. This is the live video that I'm doing. Today is all about selling, and we're talking about selling to the unconscious mind because there's many sales processes out there that I'm sure you know, especially if you're in sales. And if you're in sales, as you know, sales is the lifeblood of any business. And in order to succeed in sales, what you do, you need to have a process to follow. So there's many processes out there that are really good to follow. However, most people, they haven't actually taken that next step within their sales process. And each step in your sales process, you can actually suggest something to the unconscious mind. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We want to talk about how can we actually suggest different things to the unconscious mind during this sales process. So we have a 5-step sales process that we teach in our trainings. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to build rapport. So we want to, as we're asking questions, we want to build rapport. We want to have a quick chat with the person when we first get on the call with them. And we want to be like them in different ways because when people like each other, they like each other. So if you want to watch more details on each of these, you can go to my Science of Selling series on this channel. However, let's talk about during this step what you can actually do to suggest to the unconscious mind. So during this point, this is when you can actually suggest referrals. I know it sounds crazy. We're just building rapport with someone. Why would we want to already be asking for referrals? We're not asking. We're doing it in a very covert way, so the person will never know. We can ask for referrals in step 1 of the sales process. So what do? We need to make sure it's appropriate. All of these things I'm going to talk about, make sure it's appropriate to bring up in the conversation. So as we're have these things in common, we could say something like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool that, you're doing this. I used to do this too." And, there's probably many people like us too that I'm sure that you can refer to our products. So we're just suggesting it. We're not asking them for a referral. We're bringing it up when we have something in common, showing that maybe someone they know that also has this in common would be perfect for our training and for our product or for our service. So step 1, ask for referrals. Step 2 of the sales process, we're asking questions. So we're asking questions to find out what the prospect actually needs. So this is when we can actually suggest to the client to buy from us. So again, we bring this up appropriately in the conversation. So we're asking all kinds of questions to find out what they need. And then we could say something like, "Oh, that's cool. That's often why people buy from us." We're just suggesting it. Unconsciously, that's going to go into their unconscious mind. And why do we want to suggest to the unconscious mind? Because at the end of the day, when they're asked to make a decision at the end of the call, or they want to make a decision and they're excited to buy our product, and we could tell, of course, ask them for the sale. The unconscious mind is like the jury. It's gathering all this data the whole time. And it's going to give that to the conscious mind, and the conscious mind is going to make the final decision. So the unconscious mind is like the jury. So if we're suggesting this and suggesting that, and we're suggesting all these things, it's going to be ready to make a decision. So step 3, we want to suggest desire. So this is when we're finding a need. So we build rapport, we have asked questions. And so when we actually have the need, and we know that this person matches up with something that our product gives to them or our service, they actually need what we have, what we can do is we can share a story. So we can suggest desire. So we've already suggested referrals. We already suggested they buy from us. Now it's time to build that desire because they already talked about their pain a little bit. So let's bring them. It's like they're down here, but we don't want to ask them when they're feeling pain. We want to ask them when they're feeling good. So let's start to get them out of here and build them up. So step 3 during the sales process, we suggest desire. So what can we do? We could say something like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're on this call with me," or "I'm so glad you decided to jump on this call," or "you called me," depending on how it happened. And we can share a story that something similar to like, "Hey, many people call us for the same reason that you do. And I can see you're a really intelligent person and you make really good decisions. So I just want to serve you better. So can you tell me something that you bought before that you really, really wanted, that you truly, truly wanted?" So what does this do? They're going to be talking about something they really, really wanted. This is going to be building desire in them. We're just asking them a little frame. We're going to say, hey, I'm so glad you called. I just want to be able to serve you better. So can you tell me about a time like this before? So they're not going to think it's a weird question because we're going to tell them like, hey, just so we can serve you better. So we build desire in that way. Pretty cool, right? So step 4, when we're going to be linking the need that they have to the value of our product. Again, if you want to see these steps at a more conscious level, go to my Science of Selling series here on this channel. We're going to start to suggest closing. So you could say something like, I know that you have no expectations of buying from me today. However, let me share you a few experiences of people if you'd like. I've had lots of clients that buy very quickly because they find taking action allows us to serve them immediately. And what clients who buy quickly, what they experience is blank and this and that and this, and put pictures in their minds that are going to be like real clients interacting with you. So it could be something that they imagine. So let's say someone's going to sign up for my training and they want to get rid of their problems, their limiting beliefs, or whatever. I could say, hey, I know you don't have an intention of buying yet. However, let me tell you about some experiences that people have had in the training. I've had lots of clients that buy very quickly because they want to take action because they know they have limiting beliefs just like you. And clients who buy quickly and jump into the training, what they experience is that when we get to the part in the training about limiting beliefs, they're so easy to let go because they made that decision fast and they're totally congruent with them. And now that they've let go of that decision, what they notice is their relationships are getting better. They start to make more money. They're bringing more abundance and love into their life. And it just sounds like everything is so much better in their life. And they even call me later and say, hey, Alex, I feel so good. I'm so glad that I did that training. So what does that do? That puts a picture in their mind. I was talking about actual clients doing things. So then they can imagine that. I talked about sounds. I talked about feelings. So remember, the person at one point, they were down in pain. We bring them to desire. Now we're putting a picture in their mind what they think they can have when they buy it. So how powerful is that? They're starting to feel really good. So step 5, this is when we ask for the sale. It's closing time. So let's close the sale. So this is where we can talk about collecting. So you could say something like, hey, sounds like you're ready to join us. And if this is a big decision for them, we could say something that's going to make it easy for them to say yes. So, hey, if everything that you've said before, I know you're an intelligent person. If everything is true, then we can have you join now. And when you're ready to commit, then I can walk you through it right now so you can get a head start and you can really get going. Or you could say something like, hey, do you have any questions, any final questions while I go ahead and send you the agreement? So we're suggesting that we're collecting for the service, for the product, whatever it is. Or we could say like, hey, what's your email for the agreement? So use those different ways. Hey, do you have any questions why I send over the agreement? Hey, what's your email so I could send over the agreement? Or, hey, I know you, wanted to make a decision today. So if you join now and you're ready to commit right now, because we want them to commit, so we use the word commit. If you're ready to commit right now, I can go ahead and send that over to you. What's your best email address? So we want to show them, hey, it's time to commit. It's time to collect for the service. So that's a 5-step sales process. But that's how we suggest things at the unconscious level, because remember, the unconscious mind, it's not making the final decision, but it's gathering all the data and it's telling the conscious mind, buy. So we went into the emotions of that person and we suggested referrals. We suggested people buy from us. We suggested desire. So we're starting to bring them up. It's amazing, isn't it? And what's the other thing? We suggested closing before we even asked for the close, and then we suggested collecting. So we suggested those 5 different things, and that's all going to be in their unconscious mind so that they can make the conscious decision. So if you want to learn more concepts like this, you need to join me in a really in-depth sales training, because this is a way that you can influence and persuade at the unconscious level. And that's how people actually make decisions. That's where 95% of what we do is there. If you're done getting the same results that you've already gotten and you want to really get your results, because with these methods, there's people that easily 4x their commissions quickly just by certain things that they say and different suggestions they're able to make. So go ahead and send me an email, alex@athensnlp, and let's talk. Let's set up a time to chat. We can get on Zoom, chat what your specific needs are, and really work with you privately or in a group setting in a training to see how we can get you more sales. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like and comment as well. Or if you want to jump into one of the trainings that I offer, especially that are sales specific, then go ahead and send me an email, alex@athensnlp, and that's also down in the description box. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.